Right now, staffing shortages in the Madison School District causing some food service issues to start the school year.
Plus, our second reality check focusing on recent political ads surrounding access to abortion.
And later, a blind cow from Rock County up for a national award. We'll tell you about Nessie straight ahead. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Parents with kids in Madison schools say the district is struggling to provide students a satisfying lunch.
The district says it is meeting nutrition requirements, but admits a lack of kitchen staff means there isn't much variety. Our Andrew Banstra has the story. Andrew?
In the first few weeks of the new school year, staffing shortages have resulted in a lack of freshly prepared meals. This logistical challenge has frustrated parents, but the district is promising in the next 2 weeks it'll hope to get it wrapped up.
Between breakfast and lunch combined, MMSD serves 150,000 meals a week. The district says this creates a complex logistical issue that's been heightened by staffing shortages.
We were unable to have staff preparing more complex menu items, so that what that put us into was a situation where we were more reliant on ready-to-go, freshly prepackaged meals.
I spoke with many parents. Some said that their kids are getting the same thing every single day, while others said that lunches are often like a small Lunchable, claiming they know they've heard of middle schoolers receiving 6 slices of turkey as the main part of their lunch.
We haven't so much have had a shortage in food availability. It's a shortage in variety and complexity.
Studies show that undernourished kids have a harder time learning and concentrating while getting worse grades and having more behavioral problems. The school district and parents I've talked to have confirmed that this is a problem. There is a lack of quality lunches.
I think that's extremely bothersome. I think that nutrition is such an important part of childhood and just life in general. So if they're not getting a full nutritious meal, then what's the point of it? Why are they being forced to come here and sit through a lunch and then parents aren't even being told about it?
Parents told me that oftentimes both teachers and parents are paying out of pocket for morning and afternoon snacks to ensure kids can concentrate in the classroom.
I do know the teachers do a great job of morning and afternoon snack to try to offset that, and many parents are emailed. I was just emailed last week asking for more snacks.
MMSD told us that the staffing shortage did catch them off guard, but they're working hard to play catch up.
But things are getting better every day. So we're much better than we were yesterday, and over the next couple of days, we'll be in better shape.
But for many parents, this logistical nightmare should have been solved before the school year. Because in some cases, if kids don't get an adequate lunch at school, they won't get one at all.
They need to step it up. They need to figure it out because that should be their #1 priority, is making sure these kids are going to school and getting fed.
While MMSD works to shore up staffing shortages across the district, they'll figure out how to nutritionally satisfy their students within the next few weeks. In the meantime, they say adding just 1 volunteer at each school would make a big difference. The district is working to hire 30 paid food service positions, too. From the News Center, Andrew Banstra, News 3 Now.
New information tonight. The Dane County Medical Examiner is identifying the husband and wife involved in the murder-suicide investigation over the weekend. Jessica Ray was found dead inside her home on the west side of Madison. The medical examiner says she was beaten and stabbed to death. Her husband, Jason Ray, died later after walking in front of a semi-truck on the interstate. Both of them worked for UW Health, and they leave behind 3 children. Now the community is stepping in to help. Many of their neighbors launched a GoFundMe to help with funeral costs and to support the Ray children. We have a link to the fundraiser and a statement from UW Health on our website, channel3000.com.
The attorney representing the family of a man who fell to his death on a Milwaukee drawbridge earlier this summer is asking for witnesses to come forward as they build a case against the city. Attorney Jay Urban held a press conference this morning next to the Kilbourne Avenue bridge where the man died August 15th. Urban emphasized that when a person is injured or dies in a municipal setting, a lawsuit cannot be filed until 120 days have passed. The victim, 77-year-old Richard Charles Dujardin, was walking across the bridge when it started to open. He couldn't make it across in time and fell 70 feet to his death. The drawbridge is controlled by 2 City Department of Public Works workers.
And let's get a look at our certified most accurate forecasts now. Here's Julian Seawright.
Yeah, man, just another gorgeous night on tap for us as we are looking at just cool conditions rolling into the rest of our Wednesday night. Now, taking a look outside, it's quiet, it's calm, it's cool. Temperatures stacked up for today into the lower 70s for the second day in a row. So we've had a nice start to the work week in terms of temperatures. And on top of it, well, man, we just have a nice breeze rolling out here on our patio, which is just setting the stage for another cool night for us. Temperatures around southern Wisconsin, 62 right now in Madison, 61 in Janesville with 63 in Platteville. Many areas are uniform into the lower 60s as we're kicking off the rest of our night. Dew points, however, are still trying to hang around for a little bit. Dropped a bit here in Madison to 57 degrees, but we are looking for a little bit of that humidity to linger as we go into the rest of tonight, changing back into our Thursday. Now, planning out tonight, temperatures will drop into the mid-50s and upper 50s for many of us. It won't be as cool as it was yesterday. However, we are still looking at a nice night on our hands. As we take a look what to expect for tomorrow, well, folks, we're going to start to see that warm-up as wind shift from the south, bringing in some warmer air, and on top of it, still going to see some fog in the morning. But we got to talk about how long the summer-like weather is going to be here for in just a few moments. Until then, back to you guys.
Numbers today for U.S. Senate. Republican Senator Ron Johnson now hanging onto a small lead, 49 to 48%, but those results well within the 5% margin of error. And for Wisconsin governor, polls still show a virtual toss-up between the governor, Tony Evers, and Republican challenger Tim Michels. The governor with a slim lead again, though, within that margin of error. We continue our look at the political ads hitting the airwaves, this time on the issue of abortion.
There are a handful of similar ads running in TV markets around the state criticizing Tim Michels for his stance on abortion. Political reporter Will Keneally has this reality check.
We're taking a look at this ad airing in Madison.
First, we found out that radical Tim Michels supports Wisconsin's 1849 abortion ban.
That's true. Tim Michels says his stance mirrors that of the 1849 law, which only allows for abortions if the mother's life is at risk. Doctors who perform abortions would also be jailed under that law.
Now we found out his foundation funds a group working to outlaw birth control.
That's partly false. We found out that his foundation donated to branches of pro-life groups dedicated to doing outreach. But according to their websites, those branches don't lobby for changes in state law. Instead, they do things like create campus pro-life groups or train people to stand outside abortion clinics and dissuade people from going inside.
And his family foundation funds a group that uses cell phone data to track women if they go to abortion centers.
So that's true. The foundation is in his parents' name, but Michels is a trustee. That foundation donated funds to the Veritas Society. They offer a marketing strategy for conservative groups that will target pro-life ads to women considering abortions. Part of how they target those women is by using location data of women who travel to abortion clinics. So why run the ad? This was bought by a Democratic-aligned PAC, and abortion has been a key issue for Democrats this election. But where do Wisconsinites stand? A recent Marquette poll shows that most, 65% of Wisconsinites, think abortion should be legal in most or all cases. If you break that down by party, Michels is squarely in the Republican PAC. With this reality check, I'm Will Keneally.
And we'll be keeping a close eye on political ads, and we'll put them through our reality check during this election season. You can watch his past reports and keep an eye on future checks at channel3000.com.
President Biden hit the road today, literally, at the North American International Auto Show in Detroit. And while there, he took several test rides and pushed his plans for a multi-million-dollar investment in electric vehicle chargers to be built across 53,000 miles of national highways. It's funded by the bipartisan infrastructure law. Draped in a wreath of flowers, Queen Elizabeth II's coffin made its final journey to Westminster Hall today, where the late Queen will lie in state until her funeral on Monday. The funeral procession, led by King Charles III, surrounded by military personnel, thousands of people waiting in a line that stretches miles to say their final farewells.
A looming freight rail strike that could start as soon as Friday is already having impacts on Amtrak passenger train travel across the country, including in Wisconsin. Amtrak announced it was canceling trips on 3 long-distance routes. Among those routes is the Empire Builder route, which stops in Milwaukee, Columbus, Portage, the Wisconsin Dells, Tomah, and La Crosse. The Dairy State could soon be home to America's favorite pet. The National Paws competition, open to more than just dogs and cats, cats this year, and the one in second place now is right in Beloit and has an utterly touching story. Arman Rahman introduces us to the blind cow.
Nessie. What you doing there, Ness?
The Right Way Farm is full of rescued animals, but the stakes are high in Nessie's story.
Loved my dad from the second she got here so much that she didn't realize, because she's blind, that he is not a 1,200-pound cow as well. So she would run at him and get real excited when she'd hear his voice. Up, Ness. There you go.
The 5-year-old cow is blind. Last February, she was taken in after being abandoned with a deaf goat.
Nessie and her seeing eye goat Faith were also starving. Faith was with her every step of the way. She was basically attached to her hip until Nessie was comfortable to be on her own. And now they can do their own thing.
For Nessie, any time is a good time to eat, but she has to rely on sounds to know where the food exactly is.
If my dad's going in there to do something, he's got to warn Nessie, you know, I'm behind you. He does, if he sprays her, he has to make sure to put his hand on her back, let her know, hey, I'm here. I'm doing something, so that she doesn't panic.
Nessie quickly warmed up to Kaylee and her dad, loving them like any other pet would.
She's one of my best friends. I come out here when I'm sad and she makes me laugh. Right, Ness.
Now Nessie is grabbing the 2022 Paws America's Favorite Pet competition by the horns. If she wins, the Wrights plan to use the $10,000 prize to expand and improve her pen. But they hope her story can help save more animals.
A lot of people don't rescue farm animals, because most of them are used for meat or something like that, or milk, you know, but they can be a companion as well.
Because if a blind cow can be in a good mood, maybe we can all hoof it.
The little things that are going on that are upsetting me, I go, you know, it's really not that bad. It could be worse. And she's got a good spirit about it, so why shouldn't I?
In Beloit, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
The competition is still in the first round until September 29th.
Now, if Nessie wins, the polls open for the finals. That'll go through the end of October. The winner also gets a 2-page spread in In Touch magazine. Go Nessie. Well, a different competition. If you want the best water in this state, you got to go to Menasha. That city won the best tasting water in Wisconsin today. Monona Terrace, judges tasted water from across the state and awarded points for color, odor, and for taste. And still ahead at 10, a large-scale job fair in Rock County today with employers looking to fill hundreds of positions.
And later, the Badger blueprint coming off a stunning loss at home. What the team needs to improve to get back in the win column this weekend.
Stanton Optical is the best value in eye care. We did the math, people. For $79, you get all this. That costs over $400 at Lens Crafters, over $200 at Walmart, and over $150 at America's Best. When it comes to value, Stanton Optical is the top bird.
By some measures, our economy is doing great. We've reached the lowest unemployment in state history. We have a record budget surplus. But there's another side, too. Rising prices for groceries, gas, and medications. Folks, that's a problem. That's why I have a plan to cap prescription drug prices, aggressively prosecute price gouging, and cut taxes by another 10% for working families. It's the right thing to do for Wisconsin and our economy.
They're here. Okay. There's no way we're paying for all those medical bills.
Should we talk about a settlement?
How about we cut the car payments down?
We might want to think about this.
Look, just get them to sign. This offer's more than fair.
Sir, it's the law offices of Hupy and Abraham.
Tell them you mean business. Call 800-800-5678. Hupy and Abraham.
You can handle this one.
At Bachman Pools and Spas, we have 25 hot tubs on display.
Several models available for immediate delivery.
For a limited time, all new hot spring spas come with a revolutionary freshwater salt system for free.
That's a $1,200 value.
You owe it to yourself to experience soft, natural, healthy water.
Hurry in to take advantage of special 0% interest for 60 months. Plus, get a free freshwater salt system.
Relax, it's Bachman's.
Backed by popular demand, Hy-Vee drive-through flu shot clinics. Just follow the signs in your Hy-Vee parking lot to get your flu shot right from your car. It's easy, convenient, and no appointment or prescription is necessary. Drive-through flu shots are offered on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 7 p.m. Or get your flu shot inside your Hy-Vee pharmacy at any time with no appointment necessary. Plus, when you get your flu shot at Hy-Vee, you get a 20-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver.
At Stanton Optical, you get great value on eye care, including contacts. Right now, get a 1-year supply of AccuView Oasis and an eye exam for only $189. Scan now to book your eye exam. Yay, technology.
Experience the excitement of the Jennifer Hudson Show. From the hit show Ted Lasso, we've got Hannah Waddingham. I'm so happy to have you. And Euphoria's Coleman Domingo is here.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10.
Welcome back. We know a lot of places are hiring right now, and that was on display today in Rock County.
An in-person job fair at the Rock County Job Center featuring more than 40 employers with more than 775 job openings. From medical care to skilled labor to telecommunications, city jobs, and much more. There were opportunities for just about anyone looking for a new opportunity.
Dramatic newly released body cam video showing the scary moments. Police in California rescued a mother and her 2 children from flash flooding. Happened over the weekend. The footage just released by San Bernardino police, but this rescue actually took place Sunday when heavy rain from Tropical Storm K inundated parts of Southern California. Everyone was rescued safely. And looking ahead, Tropical Depression 7 has formed in the Atlantic. It's formed this morning. Could become Tropical Storm Fiona either later tonight or tomorrow. The system's still hundreds of miles from the Leeward Islands, but this weekend it could move near or over portions of the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico.
And Julian Seawright joins us now with a look at our forecast.
Well, things are going to be a little hazy going into our Thursday afternoon, but outside of that, pretty smooth sailing. So let's get into it. This is what we're going to be expecting for the rest of tonight. A little bit of smoke or haze may stick around from us from the wildfires over and impacting the western side of the United States. But as we go into the later parts of our Thursday, well, the good news is it's going to start to dissipate its way out of the upper Midwest for us. So that's just going to be a start for us to see some more improved, at least air quality for us. As we saw hazy skies throughout the course of our Wednesday, well, we're just going to have one more day of it. Then heading into the weekend, we're going to be looking for better air quality. But outside of that, here's the 3 things you're going to need to know. We are looking for some light haze through about our Thursday, but folks, get ready for it to still feel a bit more like summer as we get into the next few days. Temperatures are going to rise to the upper 70s, low 80s for many of us by the time we get into the back end of the work week, and especially starting for tomorrow. Then we have some storm chances that we got to talk about once again for what seems like every weekend at this point. Now, temperatures around southern Wisconsin going into this tonight, we're into the lower 60s. It's feeling pretty good as we have a nice breeze coming in from the east, but we're still holding on to a little bit of humidity, but it's still not uncomfortable. So if you want to go to sleep with the windows open, it's definitely still a nice night to do so. Let's go ahead and plan out what we're going to see for tomorrow. Thursday is going to start off rather cool. Temperatures are going to be into the upper 50s as you're heading out the door, getting the kids to school, but plenty of sunshine sticking around. Could see some cloud cover building up as we get into our afternoon. As temperatures rise into the upper 70s, our high is going to be near 80 degrees as well. But as we take a look at our surface map, we are seeing that cold front that still just lingered into southern parts of southern Wisconsin and to the northern tip of Illinois. It's going to keep things rather comfortable throughout the course of tonight. So what else can we expect? Well, once again, we're looking at hazy skies, some cloud cover starting to build as we get into our Thursday afternoon. But the temperatures, so we're looking at a wind shift, which is going to start to raise our temperatures once again by the time we get into our lunchtime hour and into our evening. It's not going to be overly hot, but it'll definitely be a bit mild by the time we get into the lunchtime hour. Then the late afternoon and evening hours, we're going to see temperatures rise into the upper 70s and even near the lower 80s for some areas between Prairie du Chien to Lone Rock. Going into our Thursday nights, more cloud cover is going to start to develop for us. And then as we get into our Friday morning, we're looking for a bit of a milder start. And on top of it, some more unsettled weather is going to lead the way by the time we get into our Friday afternoon and evening, where areas just north of Dane County could see a couple of showers. And that would just be the start for what we could see for this weekend. This weekend, we do have a shot of seeing some rain chances early for Saturday for some areas, mainly towards the west. But we're watching for Saturday nights going into our Sunday morning for us to see widespread showers and potentially some thunderstorms that will be multiple rounds throughout the course of our Sunday once again. And then still going to be watching for how Monday and Tuesday pan out. But unsettled weather is going to be bringing in a quarter to a half an inch for many of us here in southern Wisconsin. And for some areas just south, could see close to an inch once again. taking a look at our 10-day forecast. Until we get there, just enjoy at least the quiet summer weather that we're looking at. Temperatures will be into the upper 70s, but again, we're looking at the warm-up to really start to go into effect Monday and Tuesday. So it's going to feel almost like August all over again. So we're in the lower 80s and the mid-80s, but then the good news is next weekend, we are looking for fall weather to finally be here, guys.
Julian, thank you. Just ahead in sports, mental mistakes and miscues doomed Wisconsin in week 2. Zach Hanley and Jim Polzine explain what went wrong and what UW needs to do to make sure it doesn't happen again. The Badger Blueprint is next.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's Throwback Thursdays at Hy-Vee. This Thursday, Bar S Franks, only 77 cents. And Hy-Vee Butter, only $1.68. While supplies last. Thursday only. And visit HyVeeDeals.com for even more deals.
Dear Senator Johnson, living on a fixed income, it's a struggle. I paid into Social Security and Medicare every paycheck. So it was a slap in the face when you voted to weaken Medicare. That would increase out-of-pocket costs. And when you wanted to let Wall Street gamble with Social Security. Senator Johnson, you look out for yourself and your fat cat donors, but have forgotten about us. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Introducing the Planet Fitness Guide to getting that post-workout glow. Step 1, what's your why? More epic energy? Better sleep? Blow off steam? Step 2, join Planet Fitness for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime, and get moving. Go cardio crazy in our clean and spacious clubs. Jam out on the strength machines and get down with some dumbbells. Step 3, bask in that post-workout glow. Join Planet Fitness today for $1 down, $10 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, September 14th.
Culligan Water delivers. From your first call, to your first sip, to your first soak. Culligan, give us a tap. The only water that comes with a van.
It's time for new energy-efficient replacement windows from Champion.
Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. Don't sweat over high energy bills. Stay comfortable in your home all year long. Call or go online to book your free estimate at getchampionwindows.com.
At Machinery Row Bicycles, you'll find Wisconsin's largest selection of tandems, bicycles built for 2, from Trek, Schwinn, Cannondale, and Co-Motion USA. Co-Motion tandems can be individually customized, including a coupling system that allows for easy traveling with your personalized tandem. Machinery Row Bicycles is the place to shop for your new tandem, bicycle built for 2. Machinery Row Bicycles, the most beautiful bicycle store in the world.
The Socialist Squad led the charge to defund the police and eliminate bail for dangerous felons. Now violent crime is surging in Wisconsin.
More people have been killed in Milwaukee this year than in any previous year.
Mandela Barnes attacked the Kenosha police and incited more violence.
The officer's deadly actions attempted to take a person's life in broad daylight. This felt like some sort of vendetta.
Mandela Barnes, dangerously liberal on crime.
I'm Ron Johnson, and I approve this message.
Earn a 30-cent Hy-Vee fuel saver for every $60 you spend. That's a 30-cent fuel saver this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Check out HyVeeDeals.com for more deals.
You feel this for the rest of the season, absolutely. You feel this hurt, walking in the locker room, losing at home, jumping around, like that's a pain.
And a pain that was self-inflicted. Wisconsin didn't look like the Wisconsin football we know. 11 penalties, 3 turnovers, and 2 missed field goals added up to a 17-14 loss. Plain and simple, the Badgers beat themselves, and that's a tough pill to swallow.
Disappointed in myself. Felt like I let the team down, the coaches down. You know, ball security is something that's a huge deal here.
Really beat ourselves today, I thought. You know, that just towards the end of that, like, those penalties will just take any drive you had and throw it in the trash can.
He's Jim Polzine from the Wisconsin State Journal. I'm Zach Hanley. This is the Badger Blueprint. The Badgers outgained the Cougars, ran more plays, but kept shooting themselves in the foot with all these mental mistakes, Jim.
Yeah, and it's a little bit out of character for this program. You know, this is a program that has to survive on doing the right thing, not committing penalties, not turning the ball over. They're not talented enough in most cases, especially against Power 5 teams, to overcome those mistakes, and we saw way too many of them on Saturday.
Hindsight is 20/20, but in the second quarter on 4th and 3 on the Washington State 47, Paul Chryst decides to keep his offense on the field, and it backfired. The Badgers turned it over on downs, and 4 plays later, the Cougars scored. Here's what Coach Chryst had to say about that decision.
You know, I'm kicking myself for, you know, going forward on 4th and 3. You know, we got a 3rd and 1, and we get stopped right there, and you know, I'd like to have that one back.
Second quarter in a scoreless game, you 100% punt the football. Pin Washington State deep and let your defense do its thing. Jim, sometimes punting is winning.
Right, which is completely out of character for Paul Chryst, right? He's always been typically a very conservative coach. We've seen him punt inside the 40-yard line. So when they lined up, I really thought, Zach, that they were just going to try to draw Washington State offsides, take the delay of game penalty, punt the ball away, let their defense do the work. But the decision to even go for it, I thought, was not a very good one at that time of the game.
It wasn't all bad. The Badger offense seemed to open it up more with Graham Mertz taking some shots downfield. 2 of those were completed to Keontez Lewis. The UCLA transfer finished with 2 catches for 62 yards and showed if Wisconsin wants to chuck it deep, he'll go get it.
He truly loves the game, and he's fast. So it's really fun throwing the ball to Caleb. I mean, that's the kind of guy you want.
We talked about him last week. He showed up on Saturday.
Yeah, we saw a little bit in camp. We weren't allowed to watch a ton of camp, but Keontez Lewis is a guy who's big, fast, can get down the field. One thing this passing game has really been lacking the last couple of years is a deep threat, and I think Keontez Lewis could be that guy.
Now, the sample size is small, and Mertz in the passing attack looks good, though. His decision-making, his demeanor, everything about it just looks and feels better than it did last year.
Yeah, that's, you know, the real encouraging thing to come from these 2 games is that I think Graham Mertz has taken a step forward. He's more confident, footwork is better. I think his decision-making could still use some work, but it's getting better. All in all, a pretty solid 2 performances for him.
And still to come, a challenge to be better. What Keanu Benton said to his teammates Monday, that flipped the switch. More Blueprint after the break.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
Do you feel safe? Mandela Barnes would eliminate cash bail, setting accused criminals free into the community before trial. Even with shootings, robberies, carjackings, violent attacks on our police. More than 300 murders last year alone. Yet Barnes has even supported defunding the police. Mandela Barnes, he stands with them, not us. Senate Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
I always have loved kids, like having a daycare, extending our family, having another kid, and just kind of made sense to do more improvements and add along the way. Having that availability to put back into our home from the home equity basically saved us.
Got a privacy fence that provides safety for our kids and the daycare kids, and I don't got to put the dog on a leash anymore.
It's a nice feeling letting my daycare just get out and just run free. And that there is just another example that Tackle Credit Union has had our back.
You protected our rights, preserved our freedom. You may have even risked your life for us. Now, it's our turn to fight for you. Your local Wisconsin emergency, energy, and housing assistance providers, and the Keep Wisconsin Warm Cool Fund reward the service of our veterans with rental and energy support in their time of crisis. Apply today to get the fresh start you've earned.
Waiting for a great deal on furniture? Well, this is it. Slumberland Furniture has savings up to 50% off list prices, or in some cases, even more, at our Labor Day sale on now. Shop our big selection of sectionals, sofas, recliners, dining, and bedrooms. And shop the deals that are up to 50% off. Mattresses, too, with some up to 50% off. Don't forget, mattress shopping is uncomplicated and fast, only at Slumberland. Come see how. Shop the huge Labor Day sale on now.
Look, we knew the other side would make up lies about me to scare you. Now they're claiming I want to defund the police and abolish ICE. That's a lie. I'll make sure our police have the resources and training they need to keep our communities safe. And that our communities have the resources to stop crime before it happens. I'll bring back manufacturing. And I'll pass a middle-class tax cut. And if that's too scary for Washington, then so be it. I'm Mandela Barnes, and I approve this message.
What you see is important. How you see is important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Right now, get 40% off lenses with the purchase of any frames. Shopko Optical.
When we got down by 3, I felt like we lost our energy. And that's not like us. And it kind of pissed me off.
That's something you never want to do. Don't upset the man in the middle of one of the best defenses in the country. But his team did with their lack of energy on Saturday when they were down 3. So Monday, Keanu Benton spoke to the team, well, challenged the team to make sure it wouldn't happen again. And the Badgers instantly responded to their leader.
They definitely heard something from me. I wasn't too nice about it, but I feel like the point got across on what we need to come out and do this week, starting today. And I think that even in the walkthrough, you felt the difference.
It's going to be a big test to who our team is and who we want to be this year. You know, losing early in the season definitely isn't something that you would like to do, you know, but it happens, you know. It is what it is. We're not going to dwell on it, but we're definitely not going to forget how that feels.
Jim, are there bigger issues here, or do you think this turns out to be a good wake-up call?
Well, I think wake-up calls can be good, right? Teams need them every once in a while. I think that's fine. One other thing I like is that Keanu Benton is emerging as a leader. I think it's always good to have leaders emerge when in times of adversity. One thing that bothers me about this is that this team shouldn't have needed a wake-up call. It's a program that's coming off back-to-back seasons in which it failed to live up to expectations. You shouldn't need a wake-up call in the second game of the season, but let's see what happens from it.
All right, Wisconsin versus New Mexico State. Badgers 37.5-point favorites. Who you got in this one?
I'm going to take the Badgers. I really think there could be a shutout in this game. I think Wisconsin comes out angry, learns a lot of lessons from last week. I would not want to be New Mexico State right now.
Yeah, I agree. I think the Badgers still very mad about what happened last week, and they're going to take all their frustration out on New Mexico State. So much so that Miles Burkett might even play the entire second half. Badgers by at least 4 touchdowns.